Isack Hadjar's first podium at Zandvoort felt like a statement. The rookie put in an eye-catching performance as he chases the Red Bull seat. With Tsunoda's future beyond 2026 still up in the air, many wonder, will that famous call land on Hadjar's phone? And crucially, would Red Bull make it a real promotion or something fans would see as a sideways move, even a demotion, if it happened now? There's no denying how strong Hadjar was in Zandvoort. He held on to his P4 start, then made the most of Lando's engine failure to claim his first podium. In that one race, he scored more points than Red Bull's second car has all season, a clear hint about where the team's focus might belong. Yet that very success could be a double-edged sword. The next step is a Red Bull seat, and right now that seat comes with some thorny complications. Perez, Lawson and Tsunoda would all have something to say about this, and while Red Bull's main aim is to give Tsunoda time to get back to form in 2025, the door is open for 2026. After Zandvoort, I'm convinced Hadjar is the front runner to take Yuki's seat. It just makes the most sense right now. Even if the car and its quirks are partly to blame, the fact remains that Tsunoda isn't bringing home points, and Red Bull needs a driver who can do the opposite. Hadjar, a rookie, is already shining in the junior ranks, and he might be able to adapt to the RB car too. On top of that, Max's future with the team is still uncertain. If he leaves after 2026, Red Bull will need to rebuild, and Hadjar looks like their best long-term option. He even promised this podium won't be a one-off. His goal is clear: earn a Red Bull seat and prove to Helmut Marko that he belongs. Talking about the incredible race at Zandvoort, Hadjar admitted the podium still feels almost unreal. He said the biggest surprise was holding on to fourth place for the whole race. We benefited from Lando's misfortune, he added, but we didn't make any mistakes ourselves. The car felt perfect all weekend, like it was glued to the track, and Hadjar is proud he got everything out of it. He's thrilled for his team. This is his first podium, the result of a clean, confident drive, and he hopes it's just the start of more to come. The young driver carries clear momentum. Having 37 points in your rookie season with 9 races left is the kind of start many dream about. At the same time, Hadjar was realistic and acknowledged that Lawson would probably have scored big too if he hadn't been taken out in the crash with Sainz. Whether he started alongside Verstappen or held off attackers like Leclerc and Russell, defending P4 says a lot about a driver's quality. Isack simply happened to be in the right place at the right time to take advantage of Lando's bad luck. His strong P3 has Racing Bulls back fighting Williams and Aston Martin for 5th place, and that alone should be the main reason Red Bull tries to lock him down from 2026 onward. It feels odd though, since we've also seen just how good the Red Bull car can be. Still, 2026 is essentially a reset. Some traits will carry over, but major technical changes mean the pecking order could shift unexpectedly. Right now people suggest Red Bull, with Audi, might be a bit behind on the engine side, while Mercedes, Ferrari and Aston Martin look to have the upper hand. That's not how things have played out up to now. We can make forecasts and run the numbers, but until testing in February, we won't know exactly what the grid will look like. And that uncertainty is the wild card Hadjar would be gambling on for any Red Bull move. The scenario is simple. In 2026, he'd be lining up next to Max Verstappen, and his job would be to be as close to him as possible. Tsunoda was expected to be about 3/10 off, a gap he's struggling to maintain. Even when he was only a 10th behind Max on Saturday, he still couldn't get through in Q3. So, if Hadjar took that seat, he'd have to be razor-sharp and aggressively competitive every single session, because the car isn't likely to be built around him. The worrying part for him is that if Red Bull stumbles at the start of the season, it's unlikely those problems will be easy to fix as the year goes on, and 2025 showed exactly why. When the car was off the pace, upgrades largely fixed it, and Max managed to adapt to a tricky machine while Yuki couldn't. That's the key concern for Hadjar. If he's promoted to Red Bull from 2026, he might struggle in the same way. A reset in 2026 could change the picture, and the rise of Arvid Lindblad is adding pressure on the Austrian squad to act sooner rather than later. The harsh truth for Tsunoda is that his results aren't cutting it. He did end his drought with a P9 in Zandvoort, but the leading candidate to replace him just scored his first career podium with the very team Yuki hasn't managed a podium for in 5 years. A notable point even if the team's competitiveness has grown since then. So the big question remains, if Red Bull decides to move on and replace him, what happens to Yuki? After Cadillac's lineup news, many assumed Yuki Tsunoda was out of the picture, but a surprising opening has appeared. Alpine has been thinking hard about whether to keep Colapinto beyond 2026, and the Enstone team may have even talked with Tsunoda about a possible move. That would pair him again with another former Red Bull graduate in Pierre Gasly and give Yuki a fresh chance to show he can be much stronger in a different setup. Red Bull, meanwhile, still has other names on its checklist besides Hadjar for the seat next to Max. Liam Lawson is an obvious candidate, though Red Bull rarely returns drivers to top seats once they've been moved down. With Laurent Mekies now in charge, however, the usual rules might bend, and Lawson's aim to collect strong results and prove his demotion was premature is clear. One eyebrow-raising detail: Red Bull are said to have looked beyond their usual pool and reached out to Alex Palou. The Spaniard, a big name in IndyCar and a contender at the Indy 500, would be a bold and unexpected partner for Verstappen, a move few would have predicted from the team. When the pressure's on, people make bold moves, and one big hurdle here is that Palou is tied to McLaren. He's in their academy and has already done F1 free practice outings. Still, Hadjar has done a lot to boost his chances of being promoted and taking Tsunoda's seat from 2026. The tricky part is whether moving up now even makes sense, given the headaches Red Bull had with the RB21. Isack doesn't want his momentum to stall after impressing with the sister team, yet the room to grow with the Racing Bulls is far slimmer than at the main Austrian squad. So what do you think? Will Hadjar be sitting next to Max in 2026? And if he does, would that effectively end Tsunoda's time in F1? Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment below. See you in the next video.